Hi guys, what's up, football family? Welcome to the Foot All podcast with me, Arush. And
Kunal.
super Sunday. Very dramatic Sunday. and if you spot an Arsenal fan close to you, near you, just ask them about their health. Just ask them how do they feel because it has not been easy for their heart yesterday.
We feel extremely proud of this team. The way they battled against, Manchester City in this
Yeah,
fight. It was one hell of a match. Everything that happened, keep it aside, but the way that the team played till the very last minute was stupendous. It was just amazing. मतलब इतना प्राउड तो ऐसे आज तक कभी आर्सेनल के मैचेस देख के फील हुआ नहीं है मेरे को इतने सालों में. So
मतलब बिल्कुल
coming
समझ पा रहा
from and especially coming from a time jab we saw Alexis Sanchez celebrating his goals alone to right now when we have players like Miles Lewis Kelly, who is just a 17-year-old lad standing up in front of Erling Haaland just because he said something to Arteta and
him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So that is just brilliant, brilliant.
I want to start off by knowing कि going into the match, what were your thoughts? What were you thinking? What did you feel कि क्या होने वाला है इस मैच में?
See, to be very honest, defensively, last दो games देख के,
Hmm.
I was very much under the impression कि goal तो इतने आसान से नहीं होने देंगे.
Hmm.
The only point of contention that was there was in terms of the attack.
Hmm.
कि attack करेंगे कैसे? Because we saw Atlanta against it was a nil-nil draw.
Yeah.
It was a very not up to the par मतलब सब par performance कह सकते हैं उसको. Tottenham के against भी while we did win, it was a set piece goal and we did not have much in terms of the third zone output. ठीक है, so वहां पे एक जो लास्ट फिनिशिंग टच होता है वो मिसिंग था. डिसाइसिव कॉल्स जो लास्ट पास की होती हैं वो मिसिंग थी.
Hmm.
So that was one thing which kind of worried me, especially because of how City play
Yeah.
and how none of our midfielders had that that incisive passing with them. Odegaard, he has been a leader on the pitch, off the pitch, uh, in terms of doing things on ground.
Yeah.
He is the one who leads the press. He is the one who starts up the builder play from the midfield. He is the one who links up with Saka on the right side. Ben
Correct.
White joins in. So that was one point where I felt कि ये थोड़ी सी weakness है and इसको किस तरह से tackle करेंगे. While we did have that set piece corner strategy in place, and by Gabriel, big Gavi.
इस
No,
पॉइंट पे वो सेट पीस को पेनल्टी समझ रहा है.
हाँ,
There could not be any other explanation.
डेफिनेटली अभी आएंगे उस पर भी आएंगे बट
Hmm.
ऑन दैट पॉइंट मतलब जस्ट कंप्लीटिंग माय प्रीवियस पॉइंट कि सो यही चीज है कि अटैक वाइज थोड़ा सा टाइसी लग रहा था कि किस तरह से गोल स्कोर करेंगे
Hmm.
स्पेशली इफ सिटी डू स्कोर फॉर अस वाइल देयर वाज 100% कॉन्फिडेंस की मुश्किल होने वाला है सिटी के लिए बट नोइंग सिटी दे डू टेंड टू फाइंड वेज टू गेट अराउंड
Yeah. Yeah.
डिफेंसेस सो बट हाँ ये तो मेरे को थोड़ा सा एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं था कि बिल्कुल ऐसे टेम सा मैच होगा जिसमें इट इज अ निल निल ड्रॉ और अ वेरी टैक्टिकल मैच जिसमें देर इज नथिंग मच हैपनिंग. तो वो मेरे को थोड़ा सा चांसेस कम लग रहे थे स्पेशली गिवन द फैक्ट कि लास्ट सीजन में वी वन अगेंस्ट सिटी एंड देन द सेकंड मैच वाज अ ड्रॉ.
Yeah.
सो सिटी ऑल्सो हैड अ पॉइंट टू प्रूव. रॉड्री ने आके बोला था लास्ट ड्रॉ के बाद कि दे केम टू एटिहाद टू ड्रॉ
Yeah.
अ
They had no
मैच, नॉट
intentions to
वेन.
win. Yeah.
So I think somewhere they had also started feeling the pressure, especially because last season में आखिरी दिन तक टाइटल गया था and 2 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस आया था which was again that if we had won that City match, और ऐसा नहीं था कि चांसेस नहीं थे, we had the
Correct.
chances, or if we had not fumbled on the Aston Villa game. So that is something, या Fulham वाला for that matter.
You were ahead on the GD.
Right. We were ahead, way ahead on GT.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although City did catch up to us towards the end, but still we had made sure कि इतने goals हों that we were still ahead of them till the last day.
Exactly.
तो वो वाला चीज था. But तो इसीलिए I did not think कि यार कोई डल अफेयर होने वाला है. And well, it was not. It was not.
It was quite the opposite. मतलब क्या मैच था. मतलब I swear I could not tune into the Barca match for 30 minutes because मैं इससे बाहर नहीं निकल पा रहा था. मतलब इतना एक डिफेंसिव सॉर्ट ऑफ एक जेल एक बैरियर बना दिया था आर्सेनल ने बॉक्स में. एंड सिटी ट्राई कर रही थी. दे वर डूइंग अ मिलियन पासेस बट they were not being able to get through at once. But stats would be too funny to watch Arsenal or Man City ke.
स्टैट्स की अगर बात करें तो अच्छा, सो basis the second half, what do you think the possession stats would have been?
My guess would be 80 City, 20 Arsenal. Second
Oh,
half.
very नहीं, second half नहीं, overall.
Overall, I think it would be 35-65 या
नहीं
32-68 कुछ ऐसा.
so you were very close the first time around, it was 77 and 23.
Oh,
Although मैच जब चल रहा था, स्पेशली जब सेकंड हाफ खत्म हुआ था, तो आई वाज नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग 77% एंड 23% टू बी विद आर्सेनल. एक
yeah.
टाइम ऐसा भी था दैट 91 और 92% पोजीशन वाज विद सिटी
Hmm.
एंड वी वर जस्ट किकिंग द बॉल्स अवे. सो वो भी था.
I saw this stat after 10 or 12 minutes of the halftime कि Man City has done 109 passes, Arsenal has done a mighty 2 passes,
राइट.
and the
राइट.
position was 92 and 8 at that point.
करेक्ट.
Crazy.
एंड so City had 847 touches, while Arsenal had 332. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
But
Oh,
really,
and the best one,
uh,
clearances. City 9, Arsenal 41.
oh man, no way.
41.
Oh
I mean, they were
no.
just all over it. They were all over it. So, yeah.
We also need to talk about the man of the match, and it is not who you think or who I think it is. It is definitely our referee of the match, Michael Oliver.
Michael Oliver की तो जो तारीफ की जाए कम है. He is a saint. He is one of the best referees in the Premier League.
Absolutely, the greatest of all time,
Greatest of all time.
goat of referees.
क्या क्रिकेट में हम स्टीव बकलर को बोलते थे.
क्या भाई,
He
यहाँ
was
पे फुटबॉल
nothing.
में हम जियान लुइजी पोरिना और इन सबको बोलते नहीं नहीं.
नहीं नहीं.
माइकल ओलिवर का
माइकल
क्लास.
ओलिवर.
जब तक कोई रेफरी अपने बारे में पूरे 90 मिनट का गेम नहीं बनाता ऐसा ब्लॉकबस्टर वाला, तब तक ही हैज नॉट अचीव्ड एनीथिंग.
माइकल ओलिवर के बारे में जितना बोले उतना कम है. तो अभी खैर वहां नहीं जाते, अभी टीम की बात करते हैं.
यस.
बिकॉज वॉट एवर हैपेंड ऑन फील्ड, it was I think it was a very mature performance from Arsenal. Something that now they've shown they've grown into. And जब मैच शुरू हुआ था, सिटी केम आउट ऑल गन्स ब्लेजिंग.
या
एंड उस टाइम पे जो इनिशियल 15-20 मिनट्स थे, उस टाइम पे तो इट वाज जस्ट सिटी सिटी सिटी. सो एंड आई रिमेंबर सिटिंग इन व्हाइल आई वाज वाचिंग, आई वाज थिंकिंग यार ये तो 3-0 4-0 हो सकता है आज, द वे दे वर
राइट
प्लेइंग. एंड
राइट.
दैट सविनियो पास टू हालैंड, माय गॉड,
ब्यूटीफुल
it
पास.
was beautiful. Yes, Calafiori was at fault. He was over aggressive in that initial phase.
या.
However, it's his first game, first full game. It's his debut. He's debuting against Manchester City. So the kind of confidence that he has in Arteta has in him, brilliant.
या.
And that pass, Haaland finish, I think it was good. Gabriel maybe should have done slightly better, but then again, I think Haaland was on point, and once strikers like Haaland have this opportunity, they just don't let it go.
He's
So I
equal
think
to
yeah,
Ronaldo's record by the way as well. 100 goals
105
in
matches,
बिल्कुल
100
कैसे
goals.
किया. Yeah,
भाई साहब,
crazy stats.
जनावर तो हैं ही.
He actually is a demon. He actually is a demon.
Definitely.
Uh,
वो
after the game, he also became a demon.
after game he became a small little kid
Yeah.
whose candy got taken away, so he got upset. I mean, what was it? Hitting Jesus with the ball, and then
Yeah,
so apparently PGMOL has come out and said that it is not required to
not
have any,
required to have
yeah,
any
actions
investigation.
against.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
ठीक है भाई, बॉल मारने के लिए येलो कार्ड और रेड कार्ड मिल सकता है, लेकिन सर पे बॉल उठा के मारने पे नो एक्शन नीड्स टू बी टेकन.
Very controversial, very big message.
What did you think of the first goal? Was Kyle Walker in position?
अरे नहीं, आई तो थॉट कि बिल्कुल लेजिटिमेट गोल था. मतलब ठीक है, वहां पे रेफरी थोड़ा सा बेटर कर सकता था. मतलब या तो वो उसने वॉकर को बुलाया था, अगर पहली बार वॉकर और
हम्म.
साका दोनों आए थे, एंड मतलब आउट ऑफ नोवेयर ही सॉर्ट ऑफ विसिल्ड. ठीक है, अब वहां पे रेफरी की गलती है कि उसने आउट ऑफ नोवेयर विसिल किया. लेकिन अब उस विसिल करने के बाद आर्सेनल ने जो गोल मारा, एंड कैलाफियोरीज स्टनर, वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट इट सेपरेटली. लेकिन उसके बाद आर्सेनल का तो कोई फॉल्ट नहीं है. रेफरी
Yeah.
ने विसिल मारी, आर्सेनल टुक द एक्शन, दे टुक द बॉल, दे स्कोर्ड द गोल, एंड दैट वाज अ लेजिटिमेट गोल.
And the best part is Kyle Walker did have enough time to get back.
Exactly, he did.
So after that, they also showed the replay on TV.
हाँ.
Referee ने बुलाया, he sent them away. Then he waited for Kyle Walker to reach his backline.
Hmm.
Once he was, with his backline उसी level पे था, that is when he blew the whistle. The problem was Arsenal had already spotted that he was slightly off where he should have been. He should have been closer to Martinelli, but he was busy
Yeah,
chatting with his team, so he was closer to his CB,
correct.
which is why Martinelli. I mean, that was a brilliant pass from Partey. One of the reasons that I still prefer having Partey over Jorginho, however bad he has been in the last closing minutes of the previous games.
Yeah.
But his verticality is unmatched in this team as of now. Neither Declan Rice nor Jorginho, Miguel Merino, I have not seen till now in Premier League, so can't say. But these two guys, they do not, stack up to him in terms of the verticality. And that pass was inch perfect. All Martinelli had to do was just, take a little further and then bring it back for Calafiori, which is difficult. But Martinelli did a great job of it.
Yeah, he did what
And
he had to do.
then Calafiori, the high. Calafiori.
That sort of reminded me of this Danny Rose goal जो उसने डेब्यू भी मारा था
Yeah.
टॉटनहम के लिए.
I just
टॉटनहम की
hope.
यहाँ पे बात नहीं करनी चाहिए, but we are talking of title
नहीं नहीं
contenders
तो
here.
we are talking about Kyle Walker. Why not talk about Tottenham then? You can take the player out of Tottenham, but you can't take the Tottenham out of the player.
But
So
what
yes,
a goal! What a goal!
brilliant strike,
Absolute
brilliant strike.
screamer.
And Zini was not on field. I'm sure
Yeah.
if he would have been on field, we would have that again, that moment of, oh my god.
And then the way he celebrated with Arteta, he just got to Arteta, he just hugged
Hmm,
him, and very that just goes on to show कि अभी ये player आया 2 महीने नहीं हुए अभी इसको पूरे, and the sort of connect he already feels with Arsenal as a club. तो fantastic goal. और उससे पहले before that goal, Calafiori was looking out of place. He was
right,
trying to figure out कि उसको कहाँ पे position रहना है at what point of time. And
right.
that goal just boosted not only his but entire team's
Team's
confidence.
confidence.
Yeah.
And getting that goal within minutes of City scoring,
Hmm.
and in fact the block right before that goal. So I think brilliant. I mean,
Yeah.
there are no other words to define this goal. It could be
Absolutely.
one of the goals of the season contenders.
Absolutely, absolutely it is. And फिर उसके बाद, so did Rodri get injured उस गोल से पहले या फिर उसके बाद?
I think he got injured right before that goal.
अच्छा.
Right before that goal.
Hmm.
Uh, एक टाइम पे तो मेरे को लगा, मैंने कहा यार ये मिली पेनल्टी, because Partey was there and Partey is susceptible to lunging and giving away such fouls. But the moment I saw कि भैया मतलब ये तो ऐसे ही गिर गए भाई साहब, and then the way he was holding his thigh, uh, it
It
looked really serious.
Yeah,
Uh,
and in the initial 10 seconds or 1 minute of the match, he also fell down. पहले भी वो गिरा और उसके बाद भी वो गिरा.
पहले तो he was trying to barge into Kai Havertz, who kind of made sure there was no fooling around there. So he got a taste of his own medicine, but yeah.
But it looks to be a bad injury.
हाँ, so right now the rumors are that he's out for the season because of ACL, but it's still rumors. अभी
Hmm.
final
Hmm. Hmm.
आएगा scope of everything, but it looks bad. The only good thing was that he got on his feet and walked off on his own.
Yeah,
So while that was good to see, but then again, if it is
exactly.
ACL, it could have a huge ramification on the season itself. Although I don't want him to be injured. Reason
Hmm.
being, when we win this year, not if, when we win,
Okay,
we
okay,
don't want
okay.
the plastic fans to be saying, "Oh, Rodri नहीं था ना, इसलिए तुम लोग
Uh,
जीते."
but
But yeah,
yeah, मतलब it
it is
is
what
it
it
is
is.
actually too क्या बोले इसको कि he was just talking about the fact कि players के ऊपर pressure इतना आ रहा है and they are playing too many games,
Hmm.
and the next game he gets injured and he gets an injury like that.
And I think the Champions League match that they just played, that
Hmm.
was his first match,
First start, yeah.
first start in the season. So I think that's saying something. And he's a brilliant player. I mean, definitely, you don't want any good players or any player to be injured
Yeah, yeah.
in, and especially something as serious as this. So hopefully, he's fine.
And the frustration was showing on Pep.
Oh,
मतलब जो
definitely,
चेयर पे लात मारी है
definitely.
भाई. You see
That
that rarely, and अब तो वो GIF बन गया, अब मैं यूज करने वाला हूँ उसको मीम्स में.
last season bhi tha. When Martinelli scored, this same reaction was there last year.
अच्छा, that I did not see.
This same reaction was there. Just go and see that clip again. But coming then on to the corners, I think Gabriel should have made it three.
Hmm.
But ठीक है. But the fact that I kind of liked was it was again Kyle Walker,
Of course it was.
and the way he, the commentators were saying that he has asked Toku to change places. He's going to be looking after Gabriel this time around,
Hmm.
and 2 seconds later, Gabriel had scored.
And did you
So
see this clip of when Kyle Walker was doing some poking on
ah,
Gabriel before the corner?
what kind of nonsense was that? He was just going.
Crazy.
I mean, that's so stupid.
सेकंड क्लास के बच्चों की
Yeah.
हरकतें.
और गेब्रियल ऐसे "अबे, छोड़ो तुम
छोड़ो भाई,
छोड़ो भाई
अपने को
छोड़ो."
हेडर से मतलब.
But the way he leapt and he
Hmm.
got away from Kyle Walker. If you look at the positions where he started off, he was nowhere near the penalty spot.
Hmm. Hmm.
He just ran away from Kyle Walker. He came to that zone, and Bukayo Saka, man, two corners, absolutely same. He knew exactly where Gabriel was going to pop up,
Yeah.
and brilliant, brilliant. The way
And
he,
that just shows that it does not come out of nowhere. They have
they
practiced it.
have practiced. They
Practiced
have
it day and
practiced.
night. They have practiced it in and out.
And the best part was just behind Gabriel,
Hmm.
Havertz was also jumping in. So
Yeah.
if Gabriel had missed somehow, Havertz was already there, and his marker was nowhere. So either of those two could have scored this one, and it
Absolutely.
was brilliant to see the way the team scored. And 2-1 hote hi na, I was like, up they are putting it on lockdown.
Yeah.
Now they're not letting them through. But unfortunately, then the incident happened of the yellow card.
The infamous incident.
But
What
ठीक है,
did what did you think of it? Hmm.
नहीं बोलते यार,
दंगे करवाएंगे आप.
हो जाएंगे. No, but see, if you go by the rules,
Hmm.
definitely it's a yellow card. Given that it was a second yellow, it is a red. So going by the rule book, by the playbook,
Hmm.
it was valid. The only problem is there are two problems. One, when Doku did it
Hmm.
earlier, he was
Hmm.
not shown a yellow card. In fact, the referee just pointed saying he's giving you the ball.
Giving, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Seriously, there is already an Arsenal player right next to him. He could have given the ball to him. No,
Hmm. Hmm.
he kicked that ball.
That is the problem. No, that is
And
the problem.
exactly. And the second is this exact same referee did not give Kovacic a red card in the last game,
When he
saying,
injured Odegaard.
saying that he did not want to, influence the game with a red card. What did he do this time around? You were tied by the rules, weren't you? The last time when he lunged in, that was a red card offense.
And that is the problem, because that just goes on to show the inconsistency that has been throughout not only the last season but quite a few seasons. uh,
Inconsistency तो है ही है. The major problem is with the people who are making these rules.
hmm,
Are you stupid? Don't you see कि second yellow का bar should be higher, and what
exactly.
rule you are putting in place will ensure that people get second yellows for such stuff, because players do it out of habit. They've been doing it since they were kids.
Yeah,
Suddenly you're coming and telling him कि नहीं ये नहीं करना तुम्हें.
yeah.
No, that is completely bonkers, man. I mean, ridiculous.
But they're not going to do
Ridiculous.
anything about it.
Yeah. And they're not going to do. They're not. And we are going to be seeing, uh, unless they clamp down on it, we are going to see a lot of 10 versus 11 this time around.
Yeah.
But given that something like this has happened in such a high profile match, and now that they've cost Arsenal the match, they will, reduce the intensity. Not in Arsenal matches, in other matches. Or probably
बट
not in
बट
Liverpool's
बट द
also.
फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज कि जो लोग अभी हंस रहे हैं कि आर्सेनल के साथ ये हुआ, एक रेड कार्ड मिला,
Hmm.
यू नेवर नो योर क्लब माइट बी गेटिंग दैट रेड कार्ड सून ऑन द
Except,
सेम सॉर्ट ऑफ इशू.
yes, just that your club's name should not have Manchester City on it. Uh, Else everyone can get one.
Okay, okay. The podcast just got a lot more fierce.
Hmm. There's a lot
115
to
times
talk
more
about.
fierce.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about in the match. Just I'll just quickly wrap this up so that we can go to
Yeah,
Barcelona
yeah,
before we cut to halftime. But that defensive performance in the second half, the way the guys had that concentration on, it was like they were like this.
yeah,
ये दिख रहा है मेरे को, यही करना है मेरे को. The moment the half started, and uh, मैंने देखा, मैंने कहा 53 minutes हो रहे हैं. They've just done it for 7 minutes till now, 8 minutes. How long they can carry on? And they
yeah.
kept going and kept going. And I had this feeling that right now Declan Rice and Kai Havertz will
Hmm.
be the two most important players, because Declan Rice can make those interceptions
Yeah,
that Partey cannot, because he has that speed. Kai Havertz, because of his work rate, because of the way he just gets into it.
Hmm.
So these two players would be extremely important, and they did prove to be extremely important. Every time the ball was there with Ruben Diaz, with Savinho, Declan Rice was there to just cut them off, which
Yeah.
was absolutely great to see. And Thomas Partey, I think, again, he did well. Uh, he was not as good as Rice or Kai, but he was very good, especially compared to the fact how he has been in the last couple of matches. Towards the tail end of the matches, he has been, and he has that habit of lunging in, of giving away fouls. He did
Hmm.
not do that. None of the players did that. So I think it was extremely good. And Calafiori Timber just held that width and ensured that the players did not get a sniff in. So I think it was brilliant. And last kick of the match, having that a lucky bounce for Kovacic. You could see Jorginho shouting from the touchline,
Yeah.
"Get into shape, get into shape." It was just not to be. And you cannot blame the players, the way they had given everything for this entire half, 55 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good to see.
Yeah.
97 minutes a match plus 7 tha. It came down to 90 plus 9. But ठीक है, anything for City.
What was your pure reaction जब वो गोल हुआ?
uh, uh,
And what did you go thinking into the second half
See, second half
when
I
you
knew
were
it will
man down
be.
but leading on the goals?
No, so I second half mein I knew it will be a lockdown from
Hmm.
Arteta.
Hmm.
And when Arteta puts his low block in, you
Yeah.
just cannot go through it. We've seen this before also. uh, but seeing that they could do that to City, I
Yeah.
mean, in that entire half, City had just two chances. One was that Haaland header,
Hmm.
and the other one was the last kick where they scored the goal.
Yeah.
Apart from that, कुछ भी नहीं था. They just could not penetrate.
Yeah.
मतलब कोई बॉल ऐसे निकल नहीं पाई जो आर्सेनल ने डिफेंड ना करी हो. Every header, every cross, everything. And David Raya,
Oh,
what, I mean,
build him a statue, man.
he has been brilliant. He has been brilliant, to say the least. Last year Ramsdale Raya का डिबेट चल रहा था, बट आई
Hmm.
थिंक ओवर टाइम आर्टेटा को सॉरी बोलना पड़ेगा हम लोग को, दैट ही वाज राइट.
Yeah.
Raya is way better. He's
Is
way
another
calmer.
level. Another level.
And the best part is he's not emotional. He
Hmm.
has that demeanor, calm demeanor within himself. और उससे I think the players also get that confidence कि हाँ है Raya.
Right.
And the last kick also he could have saved, I think. I mean, it's asking too much, but I think if
But
someone could have saved, it could have been.
it would have been Raya.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But do you think कि अगर if you had not gone a man down going into the second half
Hmm.
and you were leading on the goals, then how would Arsenal have played the
I
second
think
half?
it would have been a very different match, definitely.
Hmm.
Uh, Probably, in that scenario, I think it would have been Arsenal win 3-2, could have been it.
Okay. Interesting.
Because the way that, the confidence that we had gained uh,
Hmm.
with those two goals, I think it was very much possible that we could have scored one more, especially, given that we had Jesus and Sterling on the bench
Yeah.
ready to come on. So I think that could have been a very potent combination. But yeah,
ठीक है.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But in
अब
the
अगर
end,
हम देखें तो आर्सेनल हैज प्लेड थ्री सच गट्सी मैचेस. दे हैव गिवन थ्री गट्सी परफॉर्मेंसेस. एक हो गया एस्टन विला के अगेंस्ट, एक हो गया टॉटनहम के अगेंस्ट, एक हो गया अब मैनचेस्टर सिटी के अगेंस्ट.
hmm,
तो that would be a huge boost, what I'm assuming, for Arteta and the club, ki despite the odds, they're just showing 100% of theirs, and they're not losing, they're not coming out losing.
right. And अब अगर मैं देखूं अवे मैचेस जो बचे हैं,
Hmm.
you have Liverpool away, you have United away, you have Chelsea away.
Yeah.
ये तीन हैं जो बड़े डिफिकल्ट मैचेस हैं. बट वी हैव ऑलरेडी प्लेड सिटी अवे, वी हैव गॉट 1 point from it. We have already played Tottenham away, we have got 3 points from it. We have already
Yeah.
played Aston Villa away, and we have got 3 points from it. So that is huge. And this entire period was going to be one of the most crucial ones, because लास्ट सीजन के बाद जब ये शेड्यूल रिलीज हुआ था,
Hmm.
the only thing that everyone was talking about was how difficult Arsenal fixture list is in the starting.
Yeah.
And now I think finally the players can take a breath and prepare. अब Bolton है, so I am assuming there'll be a lot of changes.
Hmm.
Nwaneri may get a chance, Lewis Kelly will get a chance, Jesus Sterling will come in to play. We'll have to see how Timber and Calafiori are doing after their cramps.
Yeah.
Probably they get a chance. Saka gets a rest, although Saka did get half a game off for this
Hmm.
one.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's see. Hopefully they get to put their feet up and just relax because they do deserve it.
Absolutely, they do. Yeah, fantastic. But what a game! What a banger of a game! That was a Premier League classic for sure.
That was definitely,
It,
definitely it
it
was.
had that
And
Barclay sort of a vibe.
but I seeing the way that am an ardent Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
You also like watching Arsenal matches. There would be City fans who loved watching the match. Arsenal fans, they loved the way the team defended. Every Arsenal fan that I've spoken to till now, everyone has said how proud they are of the team. Every podcast that I've heard till now, everyone has said the same thing.
right.
Extremely being proud of this entire team and how well they have done in that match. But I think from a very neutral viewer point of view, a casual viewer or someone who supports Chelsea or Liverpool or other clubs, this may not have been the kind of match that they wanted to see. It was just a training exercise for them,
Yeah,
attack versus defense, which is not, and that is one of the worst parts of this entire ruling. I mean,
exactly.
you, I am not saying that because Arsenal player got a red card.
Yeah,
It's just that you are ruining that entire match. If a City player had also got a red card, it would have been the same feeling. Probably a little less, but yeah, it would have been the same
but
feeling.
yeah,
When Rodri
hindsight,
got
it just
injured,
yeah,
so I felt that same thing. Yeah, they already have Kevin De Bruyne missing. We have Odegaard missing, so it kind of balances out.
exactly.
But now Rodri is also going, so that kind of makes it like a
Yeah,
sour match.
and it just changes the scope of the entire game that is remaining. It just all the strategies are changed, all the tactics are changed, and the natural game that the teams had come prepared for, they are
Hmm.
not able to showcase that.
And the worst part is, I think in the first episode that we did on this podcast, I
Yeah,
said that one of the reasons why I wanted to do this was because there are a lot of people out there who say a lot of different kind of things
yeah,
that
yeah.
are basically not up to taste. Uh, I have seen people, saying Arsenal parked the bus. They could not do anything. They are, not title contenders. They don't deserve this. There was a picture of in the morning. I saw this post on Instagram where there was a bus, Arsenal branded bus, saying Arsenal in the second half. So parking the bus.
Of course.
And then in the evening there was the same post again, that same bus which was broken. So saying that the Arsenal defense got broken, kind of a thing. But the point is that what were you expecting? Were you expecting Raheem Sterling, who has just joined the club, who has not, even had a chance to play full 90 minutes properly, get into this lineup and just go for it? Or were you expecting Gabby Jesus to do that after coming back from an injury? Especially given the fact that we don't have Odegaard, we don't have Merino, our midfield is gone. Uh, I don't know what people had in mind or what. And I think if that goal had not gone in, these narratives would have been very different in terms of Arsenal won, but at what cost, kind of a thing.
Right.
But so
and
I think
and
that is.
the crazier fact is, if we don't go into the technicalities even, just thinking of the fact that it was Etihad, it was Manchester City, the opponent was down to 10 men, and Manchester City were unbeaten on Etihad on their home soil for the last 60, games. That, and if you think कि 10 man down होने के बाद, when you are facing a demon in attack like Erling Haaland, who has just cracked the record, every record possible, and you think कि attack करना चाहिए था और थोड़ा वो mentality लानी चाहिए थी, then you are just not watching the same game as we are.
Hmm, true. Out of words right now, but
Yeah,
definitely I think that is the thing. And I doubt if there is any team right now who can do this to City with 10 men. I mean, give me one team that can do that. Can Madrid do that? Can Barcelona do that? Can Bayern do that? I don't think so.
they
I
can't.
mean,
Simply not possible.
players, while they were dejected towards the end, you could see on their faces when they were going to the fans, they had that determination in there.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
the way City players were rattled. What is Bernardo Silva saying in the press after the match?
And these are the players who do not ever come for an interview after the match. If you look a match against Brentford or any opposition that they are beaten sort of convincingly, they won't come for any interviews. Now Haaland is
Haaland,
giving interview,
Haaland
Bernardo
is
Silva is
saying
giving
to,
interview.
Are he's coming to Arteta and saying, stay humble.
Stay humble,
I
eh?
mean, stay humble. And the only thing he can say after that is all the explicit words to
Yeah.
Jesus when he's confronting him. So I think that shows that City are rattled, which is finally good to see because in the entire City Liverpool rivalry, which
Hmm.
according to Bernardo Silva was kind of better because City has won, because Liverpool has won Champions League, they have won the Premier League. But in that entire rivalry, I never saw City being this rattled.
Hmm.
Right now, they feel as if their entire legacy is being trampled on. Right now, they are feeling that punch because they were in a position where they could not do anything and they're not used to it.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I think
And
that's
and
where.
having said that, absolute respect to Man City for whatever they have achieved. No one's taking that away from them. But this is the point where a serious competitor after a long time has emerged that is challenging them season in season out, and it is now third season in a row. So yeah, some rattling is visible. That is clear to see, and that is what Arteta has basically given Arsenal in these last in this tenure that he has currently
Mm.
been a part of.
And after this match, I feel a lot more calm. Yes, there were butterflies, there were jitters, thinking कि क्या होगा, Odegaard नहीं है, Merino is
Mm,
not there,
mm.
Rice is suspended.
Yeah,
But after seeing this entire, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Atlanta, and then City, hats off to these guys. And
absolutely.
now I know they can go and win this from here. But since it's too early in the season to say anything like that, even if whatever ends up being the result, I think this team has done extremely well,
Yeah.
extremely well. So yeah, I think let's take a quick break here, and
Yes.
then we can talk about the Barcelona match.
Barcelona game. Yes. Correct.
See, to be very honest, I will not have very much to contribute to this podcast because after that Arsenal match ended,
You
I
must have
just,
been riding high on emotions. I absolutely
yes,
understand.
I was not getting into that Barcelona match और
Yeah, yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah.
I was like,
Absolutely
अब
understandable.
अब लाइट बंद करो और सो जाओ.
सो
अब
जाओ.
हो गया बस और नहीं हो
प्रोसेस करना है अभी क्या हुआ.
सकता. But I did see a couple of highlights.
Yeah,
Uh, while there were a couple of players whom you've talked about previously
yeah.
who did perform and probably got away from the team for some time.
Yeah.
So probably
For
we'll come on to that
some time.
sometime,
Sometime.
sometime. So how are you feeling? What is your
Uh,
analysis?
so basically what I feel is कि सबसे पहले the score line is a bit deceiving. 5-1 देखने में लग रहा है कि it was a very one sided, very lopsided match, but it was actually not. Villarreal के दो goals were disallowed due to
Hmm.
offside, and there were a lot more chances that they created as well. Uh, and there are many factors that we need to talk about considering Barcelona and considering the players and the injuries and the management as well. बहुत कुछ है हमारे पास बात करने को. And uh, if I start off by what I went into the match feeling like, uh, I was sort of comfortable. I was not too sort of disappointed with the Monaco loss because again वो Ter Stegen की error की वजह से हुआ था and Eric Garcia eventually getting that red card और उसके चक्कर में and we performed decently in the Monaco game as well. The way we sort of defended and the way we sort of created as well, being 10 men down for the entirety of 80 or 85 minutes was fantastic to watch.
Hmm.
Of course, we conceded a goal, but I was still okay. I was still comfortable thinking that now it is going to be again 11 versus 11, and Barcelona can give a good fight to Villarreal. Villarreal, on the other hand, had a good sort of season start. They won three of their games. They drew one game, but they had a very good start to their season as well. So, of course, going at the Ceramica away is has been always a tricky fixture. Last time Barcelona and Villarreal met, Barcelona lost 3-5 at their home. So again, a very tricky fixture that was, but I was excited to watch it.
So, what was your reaction when you saw those first two goals go in? Lewandowski scoring in the 20th minute and then again in the 35th minute. Although Villarreal did make it
Hmm.
2-1 pretty quickly, but what was your reaction after the first two goals?
पहले तो मैंने लाइनअप देखा तो लाइनअप देखते ही मुझे ऐसे डाउट आने लग गए भाई क्या होने वाला है बिकॉज द डिफेंस वाज वेरी वेरी न्यू वेरी यंग and then basically before the first goal as well we
Hmm.
conceded the goal but that was ruled offside and that sort of started to show the inexperience. uh, Kubarsi was not starting. It was
Hmm.
Sergi Dominguez who basically started. I've noted it down because ये Pokemon generate हो रहे हैं हर मैच में and I'm not getting a track of it कि हर game में there are two or three new La Masia players that are coming to the forefront and performing in the games. So Sergi Dominguez, he was 19. He started the game at the centre back spot along with Inigo Martinez, and वही हांसी फ्लिक का हाईलाइन था एंड विलारियल स्क्रेप्ड इट थ्रू एंड दे स्कोर्ड बट इट वाज लकीली रूल्ड ऑफसाइड बट फिर उसके बाद लेवेंडोस्की का फिनिश फैंटास्टिक एंड व्हाट अ पास बाय पाब्लो टोरे फैंटास्टिक ब्यूटीफुल पास देख के बहुत मजा आया एंड देन there was this Lamine Yamal shot which he took from the corner of the left flank, the left sort of box, and that hit the woodwork. What a beautiful shot! Uh, just imagined it going inside, and that would have been fantastic. But okay, Messi also had a lot of woodwork shots.
कोई नहीं
Not
यार,
comparing him to Messi,
not
no.
not everyone can score a crazy goal like Calafiori did.
Okay. Calafiori references already. ठीक है, absolutely. Uh, and then the second goal game, it was again the magic of Lamine Yamal on that left flank. He delivered this beautiful cross. It sort of deflected through the goalkeeper, and then Lewandowski performed this. I would not call it a bicycle kick. It was kind of a tricycle kick, kick, but he made that goal.
But,
And I'm liking the way Lewandowski is sort of controlling things right now
hmm,
at that striker position. Uh, two goals, very good to see. But I could not enjoy the second goal for long because uske moments later, Jose
yeah,
Perez scored that goal,
I
and
think
it was
in 2 minutes or 3 minutes they scored, right?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
around 2 minutes after the
Hmm.
Lewandowski goal. Nicolas Pepe, former Arsenal, he scored the ball to Jose Perez, and he scored this goal. And again, it was Barca's inexperience plus Barca's high line that caused
Hmm.
the goal to happen.
But just talking about Lewandowski,
Yeah,
how is he pairing up with Rafinha and Lamine Yamal? Laying it up to him, making these, passes right into him for him to score. We've
yeah.
seen his finishes, previously being not being there. In fact, in the last match itself, the one before Monaco,
Hmm.
uh, he missed the chances that were there for him. What about in this one? Do you see him getting back to his best, or do you see these as flash in the pan kind of performances?
Uh, so Lewandowski's role has kind of become as a pure poacher, and so basically it is mental more than it is physical. The shift from Javi to Hansi Flick has certainly worked its magic. We also saw in the Monaco game, as soon as Lamine Yamal scored that goal, uh, Lewandowski just collected everyone and he was sort of guiding. He was sort of becoming this father figure in the team who was just calming everything down and just letting them know that it is still possible. We can still win. We are still in the game. So, एक वो mental shift, and when a manager shows that confidence in you, कि
Hmm.
you're going to be a starter, you're going to be a leader in the side, and you're going to score goals. So that happens mentally. The way Yamal is linking up with him, the way Pedri is linking up with him, the way Rafinha is linking up with him, that is actually working wonders, and that comes down again to Hansi Flick's management. Uh, the way that he has sort of streamlined this team. Danny Olmo also connected really well with Lewandowski while he was there. The way Hansi has sort of streamlined this team, and the chances being created are so consistent that he's being able to grab one or two of them easily per game.
So I was just going through the stats also here.
Yeah,
Uh, so basically, Barcelona has 63% of possession
yeah,
with a passing accuracy of 90%,
hmm,
which is, I think, quite good given the fact that, Danny Olmo is not there.
yeah,
Your starting CP was not there. So I think overall team has done well. But then again, the injury to Ter Stegen,
exactly.
what do you think it's going to be like now?
So I would not lie; it was a very sad injury. I'm not the biggest supporter of Ter Stegen. It is already visible through the last podcast we have done on this page. But he actually was performing well in that game till the time he got injured. And that seems that actually the club has confirmed that it is a patella injury, and that patella injury is sort of way more tougher than the ACL injury. So he's surely out for the entirety of the season, and
Hmm.
nothing could have been more concerning for Barcelona. His performances were subpar; they were not to the standards. Completely understandable, but We have to understand कि उसका replacement हमारे पास अभी इनियाकी पेन्या है. We saw Iñaki Peña performing last season, and it was sort of brutal for the eyes to watch at many points of time. Uh, he's still not ready for that first team role, Iñaki Peña. We still have to see how he performs. He performed well for the rest of the game in in this Villarreal
Hmm.
game, but you cannot rely on Iñaki Peña for the whole of the season. That is surely not possible. And maybe there is a chance that Ter Stegen has played the last game for Barcelona, because if he's injured for the entirety of the season,
Hmm.
and Barcelona, considering Barcelona would look for a goalkeeper in the January transfer window,
Hmm.
uh, I don't see right now how Ter Stegen would get back into the club. Uh,
But do you think in January, the Barcelona will look to sign a permanent goalkeeper?
yeah, that is what I'm saying.
Hmm.
It looks very glim right now for Ter Stegen, and what I'm thinking right now is what actually he would be going through. He already heard a lot of hate on socials on from the fans
Hmm.
regarding his performances. He muted his comment section and whatnot, and then he got this injury, and then the fact that he's 33, 34 now, and he's getting this entire year to his injury. So that would be mentally shattering for the player at this point.
Hmm.
Also, it is sort of a roller coaster because exactly 10 years back, Victor Valdez got this injury and he was injured for a long time. And then eventually it was Ter Stegen who came into the club, and Claudio Bravo acting as the backup keeper.
Hmm.
So he did not find a place when he returned from the injury. And I'm afraid to say, but this could be the case with Ter Stegen as well.
Hmm.
But talking of injuries, we have to seriously talk about Barcelona's injuries. I saw this sort of the injury list. I hope that is visible.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it is quite a long list. So Gavi, Mark Bernal, Ter Stegen, Christensen, Frankie De Jong, Ronald Araujo, Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopez. So it is spread across positions, and the timelines of these players returning.
Hmm.
Gavi is going to return, is easily going to take 2 months to return. uh, Mark Bernal is injured for the entirety of the season. Mark Andre Ter Stegen is injured for the entirety of the season. Christensen is injured for 4 months. De Jong is injured indefinitely. उसका कुछ अता पता ही नहीं है कि when he'll be back. It is very similar case to Malasia for Manchester United. मतलब
Hmm.
बंदे का पता ही नहीं कहाँ पे है, जिंदा है, क्या कर रहा है, and he returns to the club after a year and a half. But I really hope that is not the case with De Jong. We really need a center mid right now.
Hmm.
Ronald Araujo, again, he'll take easily 2 months to return to the club. Dani Olmo is injured for at least a month and a half. Fermin Lopez is injured at least for a month and a half. So out of these 8 or 9 players, how many players are these? These are 8 players. Out of these, 6 players are starters.
Hmm.
That just goes on to show the lack of depth that Hansi Flick is currently working with right now, and the wonders he's being able to do with this sort of squad depth
And
that is available to him.
especially with these kids coming fresh out of La Masia and
Yeah.
just getting into the team and performing.
Yes. So I have another sort of stat that I have to give you. Out of the players that started yesterday and that were on the bench yesterday, I'll just read 10 to 12 of the players. Lamine Yamal, Pau Kubarsi, Pablo Torre, Pau Victor. I'll read their ages side by side. I'll start again. Lamine Yamal is 17, Pau Kubarsi is 17, Pablo Torre is 21, Pau Victor is 22, Marc Casado is 21, Gerard Martin is 22, Hector Fort is 18, Sergi Dominguez is 19, Astralaga, the backup keeper, is 20, which is again a very young age for a goalkeeper. Gil, Guil Fernandez is 16, Tony Fernandez is 16, Andres Cuenca is 17. There's another player called Hernandez who is 19, and Ansu Fati who is 21. So the average age of these 14 players is 19.
Oh my god! And Ansu Fati is back.
Ansu Fati is actually back. He played 2 to 3 minutes against
Hmm.
Monaco, but he was not given a start, surprisingly, yesterday in the game against Villarreal. Uh, but again, Ansu Fati is injury prone. Current players, Kunde, he just returned
Hmm.
from an injury in 2023. He's injury prone. Pedri is injury prone, just returned from an injury. Eric Garcia is injury prone. He has also just come back from an
Hmm.
injury. The
So I
list
think this
just does
this
not end.
list, yeah, it's going to keep hope that it does not keep piling on.
Yeah, and it just sort of scares the shit out of me
Hmm.
because the matches are going to come thick and fast and thick and fast right now, and I have no idea how Hansi Flick is going to manage that. And basically, the factor is that we can't go on and assume कि ला मासिया का कोई भी graduate आ रहा है and he is going to be this generational player like a Lamine Yamal or a Pau Kubarsi. That is simply not going to happen, and that is not logical to think.
Hmm.
Uh, when we saw the performances of Sergi Dominguez yesterday and Gerard Martin yesterday, the inexperience showed in their performances. They were trying their absolute best. They were giving their all. But of course, they had no game time to support them. They had no sort of they had not been experienced enough to basically feel how the first year of football feels like. So that is a challenge that if the injury issue is not resolved, then
Hmm.
Barcelona is going to consistently face throughout the season. And that is a worrying factor. If I have to rate both the performances of Sergi Dominguez yesterday, then I would rate it a 6 on 10.
Hmm.
While the player is giving everything for the club, but he's giving it at an age that he's not supposed to. He's supposed to spend more minutes with the B team, with the under 17 team, under 18 team. And it is not yet his time at the first tier of football. But
Hmm.
we'll have to actually work with it. And Hansi Flick till now has been working with it really, really fine. Have to appreciate him for that. Uh, Now, if I talk about the second half was much more dominating. When we talk about Barca's goals, their domination in attack, and one thing that I have to say is कि आप अगर किसी भी क्लब के सपोर्टर हो at this point, you should be watching Barcelona because the entertainment that they're providing going forward. Don't
Hmm.
watch it for their defense right now. Just watch it uh, for how they are playing going forward. That is beautiful to watch. There's some sort of telepathic communication between your Lewandowski, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and Mark Casado or Pau
Hmm.
Torre, Pau Torre, whoever is coming to basically play on the
Hmm.
cam spot. Fantastic performance. It started off with Pau Torres' goal. Fantastic goal again. It takes guts to take a shot from outside the box, and he took that. There was a very slight deflection from the Villarreal sort of defender, but great goal. And then you see the Lamine Yamal magic, and then you see the Rafinha magic. Rafinha, after the match, gave this interview that he had been a fan of FC Barcelona since he was 5, and
Hmm.
now he was given the armband after Ter Stegen got injured, and that was a moment of pride for him, and that is sort of a reflection that he's a player who has given everything for the club right from the moment he has been here in Barcelona, in Catalonia. Fantastic performance again. While not it is not every time that he turns up to his 100%, but his commitment can never be doubted for the club.
Hmm.
Uh, and I would love to see him wearing the armband for the entirety of the season. I won't mind that at all. Then we come on to talk about that Lamine Yamal assist for the fifth goal to Rafinha. That deserves a Hall of Fame certification. Give that any award you would like. But what a beautiful assist! Outside of the foot, pinpoint to Rafinha, and he scores a banger volley. Fantastic, fantastic to watch. Lamine Yamal is sort of the main element of that Barcelona attack.
Hmm.
He's creating, he's scoring, and whatever he's doing it to perfection. I do not know. This is physically impossible at the age of 17, but touch wood, touch wood, touch wood, touch wood. Uh, I mean, you have to watch Lamine Yamal for the entirety of the game, and then you appreciate his greatness. You watch him in highlights, you'll appreciate his assists, you'll appreciate his goals, but what he does besides those goals and assists needs to be talked about. Abnormal stuff. Absolutely abnormal.
So just talking about Rafinha, so he has had 5 goals and 2 assists so far in this season, in
Correct.
the 5 matches.
Yeah.
Uh, so in both the matches when he scored, he's outperformed his XG.
Hmm.
In Villarreal match it was 1.3, he scored 2 goals. In Valladolid it was 2.2 and he scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
Uh, but in the 2 matches, other than that, where he's not had any goal or assist, uh, Girona probably something that we should not even talk about because he had 0 shots. Sorry, he had 0 shots in that match.
Hmm.
He had 2 tackles in the entire match and 48 touches.
Yeah.
In the first match, Athletic Club, again, he had 0 goals, 0 assist, a 0.5 xg. In that, he did have 4 shots. One of them was on target,
Hmm.
but then again, however, apart from these 2 matches, he has been there. He has performed. So I think this season is going to be his breakout season.
Again, like Lewandowski, it is becoming some sort of a mental thing for him. And the number of chances that are being created for him again
Mm,
is impacting his performance. So, if he goes on to continue this sort of a form, you look at the last two goals yesterday. and the immense confidence with which he has shot the balls, fantastic. You have not seen much of it from Rafinha ever since he has been at Barcelona.
Hmm.
So confidence does a lot to a man, and if he stays confident for the entirety of the season, then goals would come.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that with players like Rafinha, Martinelli,
Hmm.
confidence does play. In fact, when Kai Havertz came in last year,
Yeah.
we saw how he was performing in the first half of the season and the way he has been performing ever since. So I
Correct.
think confidence for most of the players, confidence is something that gives them that edge, that cutting edge that they just need. And it's good to see Rafinha, a player of his caliber, of his
Yeah.
skill, to
Yeah.
get that kind of recognition and those kind of goals and assists that he actually has it in himself to do. So yeah, great seeing that.
Yeah.
But what is your prediction for the upcoming matches? Any
So
hiccups that you see?
our upcoming match is against Getafe, and I think it is going to be a comfortable game for us. I would not say that we are going into the game as the pure favorites, but
Hmm.
certainly we can give a good, proper fight to a Getafe. And I just hope that Lamine Yamal is rested for that game, because he again played 90 minutes
Hmm.
against Villarreal, and towards the end, players were coming down, the opponents were coming down to
Hmm.
injure him in some way. So I just hope he gets that much needed, much deserved rest against Getafe. There's no need for him to play.
Hmm.
And again, some squad rotations would follow. Kubarsi might come back. Hector Fort may start. And I think we should be getting the job done easily.
Okay. Hmm.
What is your next game?
Next one is against Bolton, which
Okay,
is a cup game,
cup game. Yeah,
and which lines up very nicely with Trossard's red card,
yeah.
because he's going to miss that one and
But
not the
will he
following
miss
game.
the cup game due to that?
Because the FA rules follow now,
Oh, okay,
so that
okay,
is why.
okay.
So red card will be applied to that game, and then he'll be back for the next Premier League match.
Got it, got it.
So yeah, up until the Liverpool game, now I feel that we do have matches which are in the territory of must win
Yeah,
and should be winning.
yeah.
Uh, so I think that is a good sign for the players, at least to finally be able to get out of that uh, zone of having to always be on their toes. They
Right.
can finally have these matches where they can either win it early, or
Mm.
take it slightly easy towards the start,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then take it from there.
Correct.
But yeah, I think that is it for today.
Yeah.
Let's end the pod here, and we'll be back with more content soon. So do like, subscribe, and follow us if you like the content.
Yeah.
So
Viscal Barca, Viscal Catalunya.
ciao, bye bye, bye bye
Bye bye.
everyone.
Yeah.